What's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to part 2 of the Danny Schuler Biohazard interview. If you missed the first one and are interested in hearing about everything from the band reuniting for 2025's Divided We Fall, to early shows with Sepultura, to touring with them again this year, as well as gear studio specifics, Sick of It All being the torchbearers of hardcore in the early 90s, as well as the awesomeness of Dave Lombardo, please feel free to check out that one as well. Now, as for this one, i.e. part 2, we pick up on his favorite 2 shows in Bad Brains and Van Halen growing up, our love for the band Leeway, the Judgment Night soundtrack, seeing Alice in Chains live, our mutual love for pizza, as well as me either forgetting or possibly never having experienced what the hell a Bialy is in the first place. Crash Bang Boom Podcast can be found on all podcast platforms, and if you like what you hear, please feel free to drop a positive review my way and check out any of the previous 300 plus episodes. Additional video clips of the interviews can be found on the Crash Bang Boom YouTube page, so check it out, and thanks as always for the support. All right, here we go, y'all. Danny Schuler of Biohazard Part 2. Good times and no shortage of chop busting. Catch Biohazard on tour with Sepultura, Exodus, and Travel Gaze starting April 29th in Montclair, New Jersey through May 29th in Los Angeles. Here we go, Crash Bang Boom.
Crowds go mad with joy.
You mentioned like Bad Brains and sort of the continuation to Sick of It All. When you were a kid, I feel like you probably sort of alluded to maybe some of the shows or some of the bands that you were going to see, but what were some of those shows that you saw that were just, total formidable, like building blocks for going, holy shit, I have to do this. And also that was incredible. And I don't know if I'll even see that shit again. Like what are some of those shows early on that blew your mind?
Definitely seeing the Bad Brains back then blew my mind. They're probably the greatest band I've ever seen. Actually, it's a tie. I would say the 2 greatest shows that I ever saw were both in the 80s.
Okay.
One was the original Bad Brains, which was amazing because I love Earl Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy. I could never, ever, you can't ever trick me into thinking it's not Earl Hudson playing the drums. I know his style.
Uh-huh.
I know the way he does the hardcore beats.
Right.
I always loved the way he did the hardcore beats, different than everybody else. And I always loved his drumming. So I fucking love the Bad Brains. And to see them live back then was such a trip for me. So powerful. Blew me the fuck away. But greatest shows I've ever seen are a tie. Bad Brains back in the day.
Okay. And
the original Van Halen in 1984 at Madison Square Garden on the 1984.
On the 1984 record. Oh, shit.
Bro. I know Van Halen's like a left turn here.
Nah, man. Not when you
talk. Alex Van Halen is one of the greatest drummers I've ever seen and heard play.
No shit.
And huge influence on me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I still love David Lee Roth era Van Halen. I don't care what anybody
Absolutely.
says.
I got 1984 on vinyl. Every now and then I'll throw it on, do sides A to B back to back, go, well, shit, that just happened. That was fucking amazing. And, you ended on House of Pain, and then Eddie Van Halen ripping the solo out of his ass, like just fucking shredding the gods of shred. It's amazing. Unbelievable.
I was just listening to Fair Warning this morning, and that was a band of musicians that were fucking on fire, man.
Mm-hmm.
On fire on those records. And it translated to the records.
Yeah.
But I was lucky enough to go with my big brother in 1984. My brothers took me with them to see Van Halen at Madison Square Garden in 1984.
Whoa.
And it fucking blew my mind. Like, I would say those 2 shows was seeing Bad Brains and seeing Van Halen 1984. Those are, like, to me, the ultimate expression of musicians getting on stage and performing, because there was nothing else that pulled me in and amazed me the way those shows did. And the drumming. Alex Van Halen, I had the pleasure of meeting him last year.
Wow.
Got to talk to him and hang out with him. That guy, his drumming is fucking spectacular. I just found on YouTube somebody did the how they do the audio only drums thing. Yeah. So if you dig a little bit on YouTube, you can find Alex Van Halen, just the drums, isolated drums.
Right.
Bro, listen to it. Listen to some of his shit from like Van Halen 2, I'm the One, that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, his playing, fucking spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
I've gone through phases where I'm like, there is a bizarre sloppiness that's inherent to his playing, but that's also totally part of the chemistry that he had and his presence in the band. And then you have sort of Michael Anthony, and you can't discount his bass playing, which is tight as fuck. Not to mention he was singing his ass off on all those high harmonies. And then
Michael Anthony is one of the greatest to ever do it.
Unbelievable. And then you also, it's easy to forget how great Eddie Van Halen's rhythm playing was, because it gets overshadowed by him just, parting the Red Sea with his fucking leads. But the dude's rhythm playing is preposterous. So, and then you've got crazy Diamond Dave, doing splits off of fucking amps. And man, that's amazing that you saw them. That's crazy.
You don't know how grateful I am that I saw that, because it did change my life, and it did, to this day, inspires me. And it was just a privilege to watch these incredible musicians doing their craft and be able to witness it live. And that's what taught me how to, you better learn how to play, because you want to be able to do it like that. You know what I mean? You want to be able to express yourself at that level, because these guys, Bad Brains, Van Halen, and all the other bands that I saw from that era were the best of the best. I saw the Ramones repeatedly as a kid. I probably saw the Ramones 20 times.
God.
Or in and around New York, through all the different eras of the Ramones. I saw them. Some crazy, weird shows. Shit like that. It's just like timeless music made by unique, fucking amazing musicians. And I got to see it. So I'm grateful as hell that I grew up in New York City during that time and found the freedom to go and fucking just get on the train and go anywhere to go see whoever was playing in any neighborhood with my friends. We were crazy. I don't know how we lived through it sometimes. Like, what the fuck were we doing?
Right.
But anyway,
that's crazy.
Those two shows are two of the greatest, most inspiring shows from my youth, that really fucking blew me away.
Mm-hmm. Another band, I don't know how close you were to them or if you were seeing them around the time, but also in 1991, Leeway put out Desperate Measures. And I remember, like, again, I saw a video on Headbangers Ball, became obsessed with it, got the cassette tape, and it was like Sick of It All, and Leeway was just like on the cassette tapes, fucking flipping back to back. And like they were interesting, one, because I really thought that vocally they sounded very interesting and different than most bands that were playing kind of stuff like that. They also had, now that I think about it maybe more in hindsight, a lot of thrash influence in a lot of it. So there was this thrash hardcore thing that they did. Great groove, great vocals. I still listen to that record a lot, and I really love it.
Leeway was a very innovative and inspirational New York hardcore band.
Yeah.
You can never forget Leeway. You can't ever discount their influence.
100%.
Because those guys, they were, I saw them back in the day many, many times, played with them, and they were fucking amazing. I actually saw them open for the Bad Brains on one of those tours back then, and they were fucking phenomenal. They were phenomenal, man. Fucking Eddie Bones was like, Eddie Sutton, the singer, was so different than everybody else with that high voice.
Yeah.
The way he did it. And he was also very influenced by hip hop. He brought a lot of that.
Right.
Into that
totally.
And that was something that I totally got, because that was something we were feeling and incorporating in our music too. Biohazard.
Totally.
And they also had, like, Mikey Gibbons was a fanatical, great, like, 80s rock guitar hero in their band.
Totally.
They had AJ, brilliant guitar player with the best fucking guitar sound.
Yeah.
Eddie was on bass. Pokey, my friend Pokey, drummer, great hardcore drummer.
Absolutely.
Leeway was amazing, bro. Amazing. And, now, all these years later, there was like a tribute band going around a few years ago doing like Leeway shows in New York, and Eddie, before he passed away, was singing with them. I saw one of the last shows they did in New York. But yeah, Leeway was fucking phenomenal back in the day. Wow, they were sick, bro. When they hit Rise and Fall, that song, bro, that was like the craziest pits in New York. When Leeway would hit that shit, forget about it. And Eddie would just run out on stage dressed in like a skeleton costume and just walk on people's heads. He was like, fucking, they were amazing. Leeway, a very unique and inspirational band from New York for sure.
Oh man, I'm so glad to hear like all that backstory, because again, me as a total outsider who just had a cassette tape and loved it and knew of it because of the Headbangers Ball, it's really cool to talk to somebody. I think you're the first person. You're one of the first people that I asked about it, but definitely the first conversation that I've had in over 300 episodes. I've been doing this for over 10 years, but I don't think I've ever talked to anyone about seeing Leeway. So that's really, it's really awesome to hear you talk about it, because again, I still legitimately listen to it and I'm like, this record rules, and I love it almost as much as I did the back in 1991 when I first heard it.
Yeah. Leeway was great. I saw them do a crazy show once at L'Amour's where they actually opened with a Led Zeppelin song.
Really?
Yeah. They opened up with Song Remains the Same.
What? Really?
Yeah. They played it instrumentally, right? They played like the whole yeah. And remember all the like skinheads and punks in the audience were all like,
who the fuck?
Is this? And I was like the one idiot going, they're playing Zeppelin, bro.
That's awesome.
But then they like broke that down into one of their songs. It was fucking great.
That's super cool.
They were awesome. They were awesome.
Damn, dude. You mentioned sort of the hip hop influence, I suppose, with Leeway and whatnot. For sure, Biohazard sort of had that. I think a lot of New York hardcore or sort of that era certainly did. How could that not be the case? But then there's the Judgment Night record, which y'all are a part of. Y'all are on there with Onyx, Helmets with House of Pain. There's like all of these, and I mean, I suppose you could rewind that to all the way to Aerosmith and Run DMC, or of course, Anthrax and Public Enemy, etc. Yeah, exactly. But what was y'all's connection with Onyx? Because I feel like there was a connection there that preceded the Judgment Night record, correct?
Well, back in the day, Biohazard was managed by Scott Koenig, who was a part of Rush Artist Management, which was a part of Def Jam Records, which was owned by Russell Simmons and Leor Cohen.
Okay.
So we used to go to the Rush Def Jam office on Elizabeth Street in the Bowery all the time to go meet up with Scott. Scott had an office in that building. He had a desk in the building downstairs.
Crazy.
And Leor and Russell Simmons had their offices upstairs. And, it was right on Elizabeth Street in Lower Manhattan. And one of those days going down there one afternoon, I remember Scott kind of said to us, he was like, hey, man, there's this new group from Queens that, Leor said, you should connect Biohazard with these kids. They got a lot in common, And we were all like, who are you talking about? And he was like, they're called Onyx. And I had never heard of them before. And they were like, he's like, yeah, man, they're super grimy, They're crazy. They got a record called Back the Fuck Up. Is the name of the
Nice.
And Leor from Def Jam actually suggested to us, he was like, I want to put them on a show with you guys in New York. I think your audience would really like it. I think it would be really fucking cool. Would you guys consider something like that?
Wow.
And we were like, let us listen to it, And the second we heard it, we were like, hell yeah, let's put them on a show.
No shit.
Because we were all about breaking down barriers back in them days. I mean, we still are now. But back in them days, you didn't do a hardcore show or a heavy metal show and a hip hop show together, like on the same bill.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a hip hop artist and like a hard music.
Right.
White boy shit.
Yeah,
you didn't put that all together in a show. Like that didn't happen in the late 80s, early 90s.
Right.
Nowadays, music festivals, that happens all the time. It's like normal.
Lollapalooza was, I got to say, Lollapalooza, I feel like on a broader sort of national touring thing, they always had at least one, whether, whatever it was, Ice Cube or Ice-T or whatever.
Yeah. Lollapalooza was great with
Yeah,
that. That was
yeah.
great that they did that. They took that European festival format and brought it to the States. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Great for music.
Right.
Great for us fans. But so we ended up doing a big show in New York City where we were shooting a video in Times Square, and we asked Onyx to come play the show with us. See what it's like.
Right.
I remember walking in the venue that day and seeing them in the dressing room, and they were fucking terrified. They were like, yo, these white boys are crazy. And I was like, bro, you're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. They had bulletproof vest on and shit.
Oh, shit.
They were like, yeah. I was like, bro, nah, this is going to be fun. It's going to be good. Don't worry about it.
Right.
They ended up going on stage, and they played right before Biohazard at a Biohazard show in New York City in 1991.
Wow.
Which in that era was like a big deal back then.
Yeah.
And they fucking killed it. It was like a legendary show, and they fucking killed it. They were great. And that started our collaboration with them. After that, it was like, let's do this Slam remix. I played drums on the remix of their song Slam.
Mm-hmm.
That's me playing with my DW kit up at Chunk King Studios.
Crazy.
Billy and I went in the studio with them, and that was that. And then we did the Judgment Night thing together.
Right.
After that, and and they just played with us recently. We just did some shows together here. We played in Brooklyn and a couple of the spots. So, it was great. It's great. Those guys have crazy energy, and they're still fucking the same crazy maniacs that they were back then.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I mean, again, I keep reverting back to 91. I was curious what you thought about, when the early, like for instance, I guess the first Biohazard record comes out, I believe that was 1990. In 1991, again, you've got all this stuff, the grunge shit happening. You've got the early, like first Cypress Hill record, for instance, everything from Mr. Bungle to Metallica Black Album and everything in between. There was so much shit that happened in that year. It's preposterous.
Crazy.
But like, what did you make of grunge when it was happening?
I didn't know it was grunge.
Right. I guess not. Yeah. That we did. It was called that later, I suppose. But
yeah, I learned what grunge bands were later. I saw Soundgarden at a little club show in New York City, and they were playing like some new music thing, college thing or whatever. And there's maybe 150 people there or whatever, and I just was blown away.
Hell yeah, you were.
Yeah. I thought they were more like a doom rock kind of band, a little funny, doomy.
That's
Ozzy.
It's the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath Zeppelin. Thing they always have.
Yeah. But then I learned that they were actually a grunge band.
Right.
Which I didn't understand what grunge meant. But I just thought they were a spectacular band. I knew Nirvana from Bleach.
Right.
Bleach was a cool record. So when Nevermind came out,
holy shit.
I remember we were on tour. I remember being on tour in the van, opening for The Exploited. We were on a US tour, opening for The Exploited.
Wow.
And I remember every day in the van, our buddy Neg, who was driving the van, was like putting on Nevermind, Nirvana, over and over again. And I remember listening to that record like, this is fucking great. I remember hearing Smells Like Teen Spirit for the first time and being like, wow. Yeah. It was definitely a moment in time that they captured. Totally. That was definitely a magical moment in time in music that they channeled that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought grunge was great. I thought, to me, they were just rock bands.
Right.
Doing their thing. I didn't understand Pearl Jam, and I still don't. They have some amazing songs. Don't get me wrong. They have some amazing songs.
Right.
But, I respect all the grunge bands. I think it's great. They all play, and they're all like real musicians and stuff. I don't know. I never really understood what was grunge. But I love Alice in Chains. Great.
One of the heaviest, more metal bands, one of the darker bands of them all, and for sure one of the most unique harmonies and one of the most incredible rock and roll vocalists I feel like I've ever heard in Lane Staley to this day. If you isolate that guy's vocal track on anything, and then you can hear just the rawness and just sort of brutality of him.
I sat probably 12 feet away from him while they were doing the Unplugged for MTV, I was there.
No shit?
They did that in Brooklyn. I was there.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I was home. And some girl that I knew, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I don't remember who it was. Called me and was like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Nothing." And she was like, "You live in Brooklyn, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Why don't you come to the Brooklyn Academy of Music? Alice in Chains is playing tonight." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, they're doing MTV Unplugged. Why don't you come down?" And I was like, "Fuck, oh yeah." She's like, "Cool, I'll leave 2 tickets for you."
Oh my God.
I grabbed my best friend from down the block, Mick Devin. I said, "Yo, we're going to see Alice in Chains."
Holy
And
shit.
he was like, "What? They're playing?" I was like, "Yeah." Nobody knew they were playing. And they let us into like this little theater on Flatbush Avenue. And they had like those bleacher seats set up. And they were like, "You guys can come sit right here." They sat us down like right in the front. And then I saw Big Val, the security guard who worked for Pantera, was there taking care of Alice in Chains. I walked over to him, he gives me a hug. "What's up, bro? What are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm here with Alice in Chains." I was like, "I can't believe this is fucking happening." And after a little while, the cameras came out. They told everybody what was happening. And they played for like 3 fucking hours.
Oh my God.
And I sat in the audience. You know, Lane, I didn't even hear Lane's voice through the PA system. He was so close to me and it was so quiet in there. He was singing like I'm sitting in the room right here. And he sounded like an angel.
Yeah.
It was the most incredible voice.
He's
and it was
unbelievable.
It was an incredible experience, really.
Wow.
Me and my buddy Mick still to this day talk about that as being one of the most incredible things that we got to see living in New York was that walking in and seeing, that Unplugged with Alice in Chains. I remember Metallica showed up and sat right behind me, James Hetfield sitting right on top of me, cracking jokes with Alice in Chains over my head the whole time. I was like, "Oh,
wow.
This is crazy."
Hetfield's heckling Alice in Chains.
Yeah, he was. They were like fucking with each other, making jokes and shit. But
damn,
yeah, what a great, amazing band they were, and still are now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love all the grunge bands. Great.
Yeah. What was your first kit, man? And here talking to you about all this like vintage gear and everything, I'm curious what the actual first drum set was, and do you still have it? Probably not. I'm gonna guess.
No, my first real drum kit was that DW kit, and I do still have it.
Wow.
But my first drum kit was a cheap toy kind of consumer level Japanese made in Japan drum kit that my parents got me for Christmas when I was 5 years old. And I had that for a couple of years, and I seriously beat the shit out of that thing, playing the drums. And then it ended up in the garbage. And then I borrowed, a kid in the neighborhood had his older brother's old fucking like Ludwig Ringo Starr type drum kit. That ended up in my mother's basement. And I played that for a few years. And then I had like a made in Japan Sparkle jazz kit.
Okay.
Blue Sparkle. Don't know what happened to those. And then I had a pearl fiberglass drum kit that I bought from a friend of ours named Jeff the Hinge.
Okay.
Who had a band, a skinhead band. And no, actually, I didn't get those from him. I got them from somebody else. I sold them to Jeff, and he still has those to this day.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's been a long time. But the DWs were really the first. Well, aside from the Ludwig drums I got from the guy from White Lion.
Right.
They were a Brooklyn band also. So I hooked up with him and bought his drums.
Crazy.
They were great drums. Played those on tour in 1990, 91. And kept those for a bunch of years. I don't know where they ended up. But yeah, the DWs was like the first real new drum kit that I ever bought. And I still have those to this day, still playing.
Did you grow up playing sort of hardcore music to where that was a natural, semi-natural transition into Biohazard? Or what was your background leading into it sort of as a kid?
No, I was like a Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Rush kind of kid.
Gotcha.
And then one day, my oldest brother, Joe, like came home from Greenwich Village with, a couple of punk rock records. And that really changed a lot of things for me, like hearing like the Sex Pistols and the Ramones and all this stuff. And that led to like an obsession with punk rock music that I really got into back then. But I couldn't tell you who half of the bands were. Like I used to listen to this radio show that was on late at night. It was like a college radio show from like Long Island or something. And they used to just play like punk from all over the world. Punk bands from LA, punk bands from California. This is like the late 70s, early 80s. I didn't know who half of the bands were. I just used to listen to the music. And I just became a fan of like high energy, fast music. And then I discovered Fear, the band Fear.
Oh yeah.
Who to this day is one of my favorite bands.
Crazy.
And yeah, that was just like, that's it for me. Yeah. And then my best friend Mick said, yo, you got to hear these guys, and played me the Bad Brains for the first time. And that moment changed my life forever. Because once I heard the Bad Brains, I was like, wow, I didn't even know they were black.
Right.
First time I heard them, Yeah. I just thought they were dudes playing music. I didn't know what they looked like. I didn't know they were Rastas at one time. I didn't know where they were from.
In the early days, I know there were no shortage of crazy shows that Biohazard must have played. Y'all are already in New York. It's already crazy. It's crazy times. I'm curious as to some early ones that might have, where you must have thought, what the fuck is going on here?
A lot of those shows. Yes. We grew up in Brooklyn, so our neighborhood club was a club called L'Amour's.
Yep.
And L'Amour's was formerly like a dance disco Saturday Night Fever kind of joint.
Yep.
In Bensonhurst in Brooklyn, right? And anyway, L'Amour's, we knew everybody there. It was like our neighborhood club. I used to ride my fucking bike there. At one time, I had an apartment literally down the block from it. So Biohazard used to play there all the time. That was our hometown club. And that venue, I saw and played some of the sickest shows I've ever been a part of at L'Amour's. I mean, it was just unhinged, unsupervised, pure bedlam at some of the shows I saw there and performed at there. And it was a great breeding ground for a lot of great bands. All the New York bands played there. I saw the Chrome Eggs there, Leeway, Suicidal Tendencies, fucking Ramones, I saw Cheap Trick there. I saw Iron Maiden there.
Wow.
I saw Soundgarden play there. I saw Guns N' Roses play there.
It
was an amazing, crazy. I was there when Metallica played there.
Jesus.
In 1985 with Wasp and Armored Saint.
Whoa.
Bro, L'Amour's was like an incredible experience, an incredible venue.
Wow.
But that place, I saw some of the sickest, craziest shit you'll ever see in a show in that place. From complete gratuitous fucking hardcore violence to fucking sex, drugs, the whole thing in that place. I met my wife there.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
At a show? What show? What band y'all go see?
I didn't go. I was hanging out outside on the street, outside the club, and I didn't go inside. She was there to see some band. I don't even know who it was. And my friend was like, yo, you got to meet this chick. Introduced me to her on the steps of L'Amour's.
Come on.
That's where I met my wife. And she was like, I'm going to go inside and see the show. Give me a call. And I was like, you got it, babe.
She wrote her number down. You had to call her.
Yeah.
You didn't have to talk to her parents when you called the phone, huh? Or
yeah. Yeah, I had to get permission from her dad.
That sucked. People don't understand the awkwardness of calling someone's house and getting their parents on the phone and then having to, like, sometimes they want to ask you questions, and it's like, man, I would write down, because I'm just a crazy person, I would write down like questions they might ask and answers that I might give them, and then I would write down and like do like a series of questions and answers that I might have to give the girl when I was talking to her on the phone, because I was like, great. I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't want awkward silence. I got to be able to fucking go bam, bam, bam. I don't know what's happening here. It was just awkward times, man. It's much easier now.
I was the opposite. I wouldn't write anything down. I figured I'll just wing it, and
Good
I'll
for
be all right.
you.
Yeah, so I did. But yeah, our first date, Biohazard was playing with Agnostic Front and Sick of It All in Buffalo, New York.
Oh
At the
God.
Sky Room in Buffalo in 1991. I had to hustle home after that show. We drove straight from Buffalo, like 8 or 9 hours. Got home in time to go pick her up, and that was our first date.
Wow.
So my wife, we got crazy history. But yeah, L'Amour's. That's where I met my wife. Me and all my best friends. I saw the greatest bands there: Typo Negative, Carnivore, Life of Agony. I mean, so many great bands. Such a great era of Brooklyn and music. It was the fucking greatest venue. So as far as the craziest shows, they all happen there. And the stories are just everything. Yes, all of it. Saw it all, did it all there.
Wow.
Biohazard shows, we've had some crazy tours with crazy bands. The Exploited tour in 1991, I could write a book about by itself.
I bet.
That was just like constant brawls, constant insanity, just destroying dressing rooms, fighting with Nazi skinheads, fucking just insanity, just pure insanity. And but yeah, yes, we did all that shit. It was great. Our band came up the hard way. We learned. We lived in a fucking Ryder truck, toured. I slept on a fucking beach chair in the back of a Ryder truck for a fucking month straight. We did it all. We did it all in those early days. It's funny, like years ago, somebody, I used to read a lot of books. Now everything's on the computer, but I used to read a lot of books. And I was in LA and somebody suggested to me, hey, Danny, you like to read books. You should read this book. And it was Henry Rollins' Get in the Van.
I still have my original copy.
Yeah,
I still have it. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome book. Anyway, I remember reading the book while I was in the van.
In the van. You're like, this is in the van while I'm in the van.
Living in a van.
Yeah.
In a sleeping bag.
Right.
No showers. We were just on the road living in the van.
Yeah.
And I was reading the book and I was like, this guy's telling this story. This ain't for me to read.
Yeah.
This is for somebody who has no fucking clue what he's talking about.
Right.
To understand this. I'm living that experience right now. This is where I was reading the book. I was like, I don't need to read this book. It's a great book.
I'm already living this bullshit.
I'm writing my own book.
Yeah, my back hurts. All right.
Yeah, my fucking back hurt. Yeah,
I bet it did.
But no, we were really lucky and to be able to experience all that character building,
right,
type of experiences of touring, never knowing when you're gonna get home, never making a fucking penny.
Yeah,
literally fighting for food, fighting to survive every single day on the road. And yeah, it was nuts. It was fucking nuts. It's still nuts, but it's we're a little older now, and things have definitely quieted down a lot.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know if brawling and touring with the Exploited at your age would necessarily fare that well. I would imagine.
Touring with the Exploited, I wouldn't mind. I just saw them up in Montreal a couple weeks back.
Wow.
Fucking love those guys. Legends.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Well, I figured since you are a native New Yorker and me as someone who was just there for 15 years, I know New Yorkers are very specific about their pizza. And I have to say, when I lived in Greenpoint, there was this place called Dar 525. Now, hear me out. I know this is going to be a trigger moment for you, and I hope you say, get the fuck out of here. But they had a pistachio pizza, and there was literally pistachios, a bunch of mozzarella, and a bunch of onions, and olive oil based, not, tomato sauce. I swear to God, I know it's going to sound crazy to you. It's probably going to make your skin crawl. But I got to say, it was fucking amazing.
Okay. So I've gotten over my snobbishness about being a pizza expert.
That's amazing. I can't believe you're even saying this.
I am fully qualified as an OG pizza expert to speak on pizza with anybody in the world.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay? I know good fucking pizza.
Yeah.
But I've gotten over the snobbishness of it.
Okay.
So I accept your pistachio pizza.
Okay.
I know people do that. And I can see how that could be an interesting thing.
Bro, you got to taste it.
Listen, when I grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I grew up in Canarsie.
Uh-huh.
On Avenue L and East 94th, between 94th and 95th.
Uh-huh.
It's still there to this day, a place called Original Pizza.
Okay.
In my neighborhood in Brooklyn, within 10 minutes, I had 50 incredible pizzerias.
Uh-huh.
Every one of them right now would be a fucking 9.5 on the fucking Dave Portnoy scale.
Okay.
Back in the day, all we had was a slice and maybe like a pepperoni slice.
Uh-huh.
Sicilian pizza.
Yep.
Napolitan pizza. Round pizza.
Yep.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got fancy once in a while. Maybe there'd be a calzone.
Okay. Good calzone.
There was no fucking Mike's Hot Honey pepperoni cups.
Right.
There was definitely no pineapple pizza.
I was about to say, I'm assuming the pineapple pizza not really happening.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Pizza was a very simple,
uh-huh,
plain, amazingly perfectly made thing.
Uh-huh.
I grew up eating the greatest pizza on the planet Earth.
Okay.
In Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Okay. As a kid, I could get on the train, get on the bus, go to Kings Highway and eat fucking one of the greatest, most famous pizzerias in Brooklyn. I can't remember the fucking name now.
Okay.
The old man just died.
Okay.
But I mean, for us, it was just a street slice.
Right.
We'd go to Kings Highway, go to Sam Mash, go to Norm's Music, and then let's get a slice and just walk into a place that people from all over the world think is the greatest pizzeria in the world. To us, it was just on the corner by the bus stop. Let's get a slice. Totone's in Coney Island. I used to go there, go sit in the kitchen. I don't know if you know Totono's in Coney Island.
No.
It's not going to be there much longer. I think they just sold the building.
Of course they did.
Greatest pizza ever. I love fucking pizza. I know great pizza. I haven't eaten a slice in like 6 weeks right now, so I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's the best pizzerias in New York? Are you asking me that question?
No, I was just I was going to throw random non-traditional pizzas that I had had over the course of my 15 years to see how it triggered you to where you would say, "Get the fuck out of here."
Well, a year or two ago, I probably would have been like, "Pistachio, get the fuck out of here."
There you go. All right.
Pistachios, get the fuck out of here.
Totally.
On pizza? Nah.
It's ridiculous. But I know. I got to admit it. Yeah.
But no, I'm nowadays, I'm open to all those crazy things that people put on pizza.
Yeah.
But me personally, if I'm ordering pizza, I get a plain pie.
Yeah.
Me, that's just the perfect expression. A well-made plain pie.
Uh-huh.
And I'm lucky because where I live now in New Jersey, I have within 10 minutes some of the greatest pizzeria in the world right here.
Awesome.
Where I live. I'm 10 minutes from Freehold. There's a place called Federici's. It's been there for over 100 years.
No shit.
That makes thin crust bar pie type pizza.
Oh, wow.
It's fucking unbelievable.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I love it. New Jersey has amazing pizza.
Yeah.
I'm a pizza guy.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a pizza guy.
I just love the whole idea, like the culture that you could just like roll up and be like, I want one of those. And then like a just savage, you can just fucking shove it into your face on a sidewalk like an animal. I love that. And I was talking to one of my buddies. He grew up working in kitchens and he was like, I'm used to eating over garbage cans and shoveling food into my mouth. So I know why I eat like that. He's like, why do you eat like that? I was like, I don't have a good answer for that. I just know.
Well, honestly, that was me every day of my life. Growing up in Aussie. Like, school, we would have a break for lunch. Me and my friend would go around the corner to Dominic Leucci's Pizzeria, and it was $1.25 for a slice and a grape drink. Right. The grape fountain soda. I don't know if you remember that, but it was always like that machine with the orange and grape or red fountain drink circulating, and it was like a non-carbonated fake juice. The $1.25 for a slice, an amazing, best slice you'll ever have in the world, and one of those grape drinks. And I would literally, with the paper plate, balance the paper plate on top of the garbage can outside the pizzeria and eat and drink my fucking lunch and go back to school. Like that was every day of my life. So yeah, I grew up eating pizza. I grew up in a mostly Italian neighborhood, even though I'm not Italian.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a pizza guy, man. I know good fucking pizza. I love pizza. I'm no longer a pizza snob, so I accept your pistachio pizza, but I don't eat it myself. I will have like artichoke pie.
Oh, I do love a little artichoke on it. It's fucking good.
Artichoke
dude.
pie is real good. The clam pie, I went up to.
I can't do clams.
No, I tried the clam pie. It was really good.
Yeah?
I did the New Haven pizza thing.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
Like where you grew up, if you grew up where I grew up eating what I ate every day.
Correct. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Tough situation.
Can't beat it. So, but I respect the New Haven pizza. My brother lives in Connecticut.
Okay.
So we get together up there. We go to Frank Pepe's and all that. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great pizza. But the best pizza is like, to me is, like you go to fucking Staten Island right now. There's an amazing pizzeria on every fucking corner.
Really?
Yes.
Crazy.
There's still a couple of amazing pizzerias in Brooklyn. And there's fucking 50 amazing pizzerias in New Jersey. Like literally everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Do you do red pepper, oregano, or black pepper? Nothing. You're
never.
You're like, that's the way you tune drums, is the way you like to eat pizza. Raw dog.
Right out of the oven on a paper plate. I don't block the grease.
Really?
I don't put no garlic on it.
What?
Nothing. It's straight in my face.
I put all of it on it. Everything but salt. Red pepper especially. I love red pepper flakes. I want extra Parmesan, and I love oregano on it.
Yeah.
I put it all on it.
Nothing. I put nothing on it.
That's a traditional, I realize you sort of accept my pistachio stance here, but for yourself, you're going OG raw dog right into the mouth.
I'll eat it straight out of the oven, volcanic lava, molten lava.
Burn your mouth.
Or straight out of the refrigerator for 12 hours, frozen congealed cheese. I'll eat it fucking frozen.
You'll eat a frozen slice?
Not frozen, but refrigerated for 12 hours? Yeah. Right for breakfast.
Yeah.
No problem.
Understandable.
No problem whatsoever.
Yeah. Respect.
Yeah, man. Don't fuck with me on the pizza thing, bro. I know all about. I'm a pizza guy my entire life. I'm a connoisseur of fine pizza, but I'm not a snob. I accept the new wave of the pizza revolution that happened during COVID.
Right.
And I love Dave Portnoy and the Barstool thing and the pizza reviews. I love it.
Yeah. I
agree with mostly what he says, but even on his show, he scored a few pizzerias really high that I've had that I didn't think were that spectacular.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I generally, I don't talk shit about bagels nor pizza really with native New Yorkers. Y'all have just had it for way too long. The bar is too high.
Bagels, man. I'm not a bagel guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you grew up in Brooklyn. You got a bagel store on every corner.
Yeah.
Baking and boiling and cooking bagels in-house. And like when I was a kid, on my corner, we had a place where they made Bialys. You know what a Bialy is?
I don't.
Bagels and Bialys. You never saw the sign?
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay, so a Bialy is similar to a bagel, but it's a little more floury.
Okay.
Right? The hole doesn't go all the way through. It's just like a round piece of dough with like a thumb hole that doesn't go through. So there's still a little floor on the bottom of it.
Okay.
And they put some onions in there.
Oh.
And then they bake that motherfucker. And it comes out of the oven with a little char on top.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's a Bialy.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I grew up on my corner was a bakery that made those and bagels.
Oh, shit.
And bro, the Bialys or Bialys, they call them. It was the greatest shit you ever had in your life. My grandmother every morning would be like, Danny, go around the corner, dozen bagels, dozen Bialys, bring them home. I would walk home with this steaming hot paper bag full of this bread. And I would like eat one, while I was walking with it, like a little kid coming down the street. Cut that open with a little fucking butter on there. Oh my God. It's the greatest thing you'll ever eat in your life. A fucking a fresh Bialy. There's still a place called Bell in Coney Island. Bell Bagels, Bell Bialys.
Okay.
Bro, you can order them online now, frozen.
Okay.
Do yourself a favor. Order a pack of real New York Bialys, not the bagels.
Right.
Bialys.
Okay.
Put it in a toaster oven, cut it in half, put a little butter on it with your coffee, and thank you, Danny. It's the greatest thing I ever tasted in my life.
There you go. Holy moly, dude. All right.
Yeah.
Well, from Bialy's to pizza and hardcore shows and Leeway and Bad Brains and Van Halen and drums, dude, it was awesome talking to you. Always great to have a nerd out with an OG as well as a drum nerd and someone that knows a lot about pizzas. So I appreciate it.
Pizza music nerds, so we're right there. Yes, love it.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, Danny, it was great talking to you, dude. Appreciate the time. We'll have to catch up. I know y'all coming through Atlanta with Exodus. We'll be down here. Hopefully I can catch up with you for a minute, man. It'd be fun.
Yeah, text me. Come down to the show. I'll hook you up.
Awesome.
We'll hang. That'll be good. Yeah, we are going to be there.
Hell yeah, y'all are.
Yeah. Great.
Right on.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, we'll hang. I want to see your drums.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'll show you these drums. I'll have these with me. So.
Nice. Fuck yeah, dude. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for catching up, brother. Great time, man. Great kicking it. Appreciate it.
Peace. Thanks, bro.
All right, everybody. Thanks for dropping in, and hopefully you got a kick out of the combo. Thanks to Danny for shooting the shit, and catch them this year with Sepultura, Exodus, and Tribal Gaze. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Crash, bang, boom, baby.